What if the person who was supposed to love you unconditionally is actually the reason your self-esteem is shattered? Imagine realizing that every guilt trip, every backhanded compliment, every just for your own good lecture was a way to control you, and you never saw it coming. How do you stop feeling trapped, manipulated, and constantly wrong in your own home? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the hidden tactics narcissist mothers use, why they make even the strongest of us doubt ourselves, and finally take control of your life without losing yourself in her drama. Dealing with a narcissist mother isn't just about handling a difficult parent, it's about navigating a minefield that's been set up from your earliest memories. Every word, every gesture can be a test. A compliment might feel genuine, but often it hides a trap, a subtle jab, a backhanded remark, or a quiet dig that makes you question yourself. Narcissist mothers thrive on reactions. Your anger, hurt, or disappointment feeds their control. Try to pull away and they escalate through guilt, silent treatment, or passive-aggressive comments. You're not imagining it. Their behavior is designed to confuse and destabilize you. The first step is learning their tactics. Gaslighting is common. She denies things she clearly said or events you distinctly remember, making you doubt your memory. Triangulation. She complains to a sibling or relative, creating tension and making you feel isolated. Comparison. Why can't you be more like your cousin? A classic way to manipulate self-worth. Seeing these patterns is your shield. Recognition is the first step to freedom. Here's a harsh truth: you cannot change her. Many people try, believing that love, patience, or better communication will work. It rarely does. Narcissistic behavior is ingrained, not accidental. Accepting this isn't surrender, it's clarity. It allows you to stop chasing approval and start prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. Awareness also prepares you for setting boundaries. If you try to act without understanding, you risk confusion, frustration, and repeated setbacks. Short sentences, keen observation, and vivid examples will help you spot her tactics before they sink in. Once you recognize the patterns of a narcissist mother, the next step is learning how to respond without losing yourself. Boundaries are not just rules, they are lifelines. They protect your mind, your emotions, and your sense of reality. Start small. A simple "I'm not comfortable discussing this" or "I need space right now" can feel revolutionary. She might test it. She might guilt you, shout, or give the silent treatment. That's expected. Boundaries are a challenge for her because they limit control. Your discomfort is temporary, the clarity and emotional safety you gain are permanent. Use concrete examples. If she criticizes your career choice, respond calmly, "I appreciate your opinion, but this is my decision." If she compares you to someone else, say, "I hear you, but I am not them. I am making my own path." Short, assertive sentences work best. They minimize manipulation opportunities. Remember, emotional detachment is key. You don't need to fight every battle. Some words are traps, some reactions are engineered. Observing without reacting immediately gives you power. Take a deep breath, step back, and respond with intention, not impulse. Documentation can also help. Keep notes of interactions that feel manipulative or abusive. It's not paranoia, it's clarity. Seeing a pattern on paper strengthens your understanding and prevents self-doubt. Support networks matter. Friends, therapists, or support groups can provide perspective and validation. Narcissist mothers excel at isolation, so rebuilding connections outside her influence is critical. This is hard work and it takes consistency. You'll have setbacks. You'll feel guilty. That's normal. Guilt is a tool she uses to regain control. Recognize it for what it is and don't let it dictate your choices. After setting boundaries and protecting yourself, the next crucial step is healing. A narcissist mother can leave deep emotional scars, from self-doubt to chronic guilt. Healing isn't a one-time event, it's a process of understanding, releasing, and rebuilding. Start by acknowledging your feelings. You might feel anger, sadness, or betrayal. These emotions are valid. Suppressing them only gives her influence more power. Journaling is a simple yet powerful tool. Write down interactions, your reactions, and how they made you feel. Over time, patterns emerge and clarity replaces confusion. Next, challenge internalized beliefs. Many children of narcissists carry messages like "I'm not enough" or "I must please everyone." These are lies, repeated until they feel true. Replace them with affirmations grounded in reality. "I deserve respect. My feelings matter. I am enough just as I am." Short, consistent reminders rewire your mindset and reinforce boundaries. Seek healing practices that resonate with you: therapy, meditation, or creative outlets like art or music. They create space for reflection and emotional release. Trauma stored in the body needs expression, not suppression. Physical activity can also help release tension and restore a sense of control. Surround yourself with supportive people. Toxic family dynamics often leave a vacuum, which isolation can fill. Friends, mentors, and communities who validate your experiences counteract the manipulative messages from your past. Connection becomes a lifeline. Understand that forgiveness is optional, not mandatory. Healing doesn't require reconciliation. You can move forward while maintaining distance or redefine relationships on your terms. Power lies in choice, choosing peace over perpetual conflict. By now, you've learned to set boundaries, protect your emotional space, and start healing. Module 4 is about taking the next step, thriving beyond her influence. Surviving isn't enough, you deserve to live fully, free from her manipulation. The first key is self-awareness. Notice when old patterns try to creep back in. Do you feel guilt when asserting yourself? Do you doubt your choices unnecessarily? These are echoes of her control. Recognizing them is the first step to breaking them. Awareness allows you to respond intentionally, rather than react automatically. Next, rebuild your identity. Children of narcissists often grow up with a distorted sense of self. Explore your passions, interests, and values. What excites you, what brings joy? Make choices based on your desires, not on what she would approve of. Small steps matter. Try a new hobby, speak your truth in safe spaces, or make independent decisions. Every act reinforces your autonomy. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Genuine relationships act as a mirror, reflecting your worth back to you. Avoid those who reinforce guilt or doubt. This isn't selfish, it's survival. Build a support network that celebrates growth, honesty, and authenticity. Mastering emotional detachment is also crucial. This doesn't mean ignoring her completely. It means protecting your mental space. Her attempts to provoke, guilt, or control should no longer dictate your emotions. Visualize a mental boundary that blocks manipulation while allowing neutral interactions if necessary. Finally, embrace self-compassion. Growth isn't linear. You may stumble, feel triggered, or revisit painful memories. That's normal. Treat yourself with kindness, celebrate small victories, and acknowledge progress. By now, you've learned how to set boundaries, protect your emotional space, and begin reclaiming your life. This part is about taking it further, thriving beyond her influence. Surviving isn't enough. You deserve freedom, peace, and a life that isn't dictated by her manipulations. First, embrace the reality of your independence. You may feel guilty or anxious, like stepping away from her control is wrong, but it's not. Her need to dominate doesn't define your choices. Accepting that you are allowed to live for yourself is a crucial step. Practice small daily affirmations. My life, my rules, or I am worthy of peace. These may seem minor, but repetition rewires your mindset. Next, cultivate a support system outside her reach. Friends, mentors, or therapists who understand narcissistic behavior can provide perspective you can't get from her. Talking to someone objective prevents her manipulations from distorting your reality. Share experiences, vent safely, and get validation for your feelings. It's part of reclaiming your emotional stability. Another critical step is identifying triggers that pull you back under her influence. Does a specific tone, phrase, or guilt tactic immediately unsettle you? Recognize these triggers and practice mental distancing. When she tries to provoke a reaction, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, her words are not a reflection of my worth. This small pause creates a buffer between her tactics and your emotions. Also, focus on building your own identity beyond her shadow. Pursue hobbies, goals, or career paths that fulfill you, even if they provoke her criticism. Her disapproval is a sign you're growing. Lean into it. Every step you take toward authentic living strengthens your resilience and self-respect. Finally, cultivate compassion for yourself and even for her, but maintain distance. Understanding that her behavior stems from her unresolved issues can lessen emotional reactivity. However, compassion does not mean compliance. Protecting your peace remains priority 1. Now that you've learned to set boundaries, protect yourself, and reclaim your identity, it's time to master emotional resilience. This stage is about becoming unshakable, someone she can no longer manipulate, guilt, or control. Start by recognizing that her attempts to provoke you are not personal. A narcissist mother thrives on reactions. Your anger, guilt, or fear fuels her. By staying calm and composed, you remove the power she's been holding over you. Practice neutral responses like, I hear you, or that's your perspective, and avoid engaging in arguments that drain your energy. Next, strengthen your inner confidence. List your achievements, your values, and moments when you acted in alignment with your authentic self. Revisit this list whenever she tries to undermine you. These reminders anchor you in reality and reinforce that her judgment does not define your worth. Develop emotional coping tools that work for you. Journaling, meditation, or physical activity can channel stress and prevent her toxicity from taking root. Even small daily rituals of self-care build emotional armor, making her attempts at control less effective over time. Another essential step is limiting exposure without guilt. You don't need to cut ties completely unless necessary, but reduce interactions that trigger anxiety, guilt, or manipulation. This is not abandonment, it's self-preservation. Over time, controlled distance allows you to engage with her selectively, with clarity and calm. Finally, envision your future on your own terms. What kind of relationships, lifestyle, and emotional state do you want? Focus on building that life and let every decision align with your well-being. She may resist or criticize, but remember, her discomfort is not your responsibility. By consistently applying these strategies, you shift from reactive to proactive. You no longer exist in her shadow, you create your own light. Over time, this resilience becomes second nature, and her attempts at control gradually lose meaning. The freedom, peace, and emotional independence you've worked for become your reality, and nothing she says or does can take that away.